Kristin. It's great to be here with you today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Kristin Sandven Huuse. I'm Norwegian, born and raised in Norway. I live now in the US. I have two kids who are now 13 and turning soon 11. So I had my kids in Norway. We came to the US about 6 years ago with Cisco, who I work for. I work as a product manager, and I've been with Cisco for about 12 years now. And I'm really loving my job there.
So, what have you learned from trying to balance work and parenting? And what's your best advice for other working moms?
Really choosing a spouse that support you and everything you do, and really having a spouse that also encourage you to have a career yourself. We moved here with Cisco from Norway. It was my job we moved with. So my husband, he quit his job to come here to the US with the family. But he ended up working here as well, which is great. But he worked like 60% for the first 2 years, supporting the kids, making sure they got to school safely, all the activities, making the dinner, all of that. While I was working, 110%, making a living here in the US. And if it wasn't with him, we wouldn't have been here in the US. And that's been like that, like all through my career.
What's one thing that you wish that you had known earlier on?
If I'm thinking back now, 10 years, even more, I've been in the workforce now for like 16 years. I would have chosen a mentor and an executive sponsor much earlier. Especially I learned this when I came to the US. Like the hierarchy here is pretty like solid. It's hard to move up the ladder, harder here than I would say in Norway. There are differences, and I wish I've chosen a mentor and a sponsor earlier who could advise me what do I need to do to move the ladder, or even move like career goals and move within a company or outside, like advice on how I should move faster than I have been.
How do you make yourself feel comfortable with the inevitable trade-offs that you have to make when you're juggling things both at work and at home?
Oh, that's a good question. It's hard. Sometimes, when the kids were little, so my son, he's now soon turning 11. He would draw pictures of the family, and then it would be my husband, my daughter, and himself, and then swimming in the pool. And then I would ask, so where is mommy? He was 5 at the time, and he said, well, she's at work. That was a bit rough, but then I think they're also proud of me. They see that I want to be a good role model, especially for my daughter, but also my son, who's, when they go out in the workforce, that they can see that women are performing and leading, and really they don't see the difference, which is great. They see, well, mom is working, that's okay, we're like proud of her, that's just how it works. So it has been I think I would say not easy always, but easier with kids who understand, and also my husband, who's been so supportive. And I think taking time for myself as well is also important. So I run a lot because you need to have that like mental taking care of yourself is also important. So I think that helped me a lot, making sure I can balance my life with work and family. But I try, and also getting home for dinner every day. That's one thing I prioritize. I could work late, but being there, having dinner with the kids is very important to me.
How have your managers best supported you through your parenting journey?
The latest manager I have, she's great. She says family always comes first, and that's something that I also been cherishing all through my career so far. And I've had managers also in the past who says family come first, and I think that's also something I bring with me from Norway. Family comes first, and work is just work. And my current manager, she said to us when she started, recently, she said, well, we're not saving lives here, right? We're doing the best we can. And I'm like, you're right, we're developing software and hardware. So it's not the end of the world. We're working so hard. So I think that's important, really thinking about family first, and then work is work, and that's important.
What policies or changes to the workplace would you make that would make a difference for working moms and working families in general?
All right. So I would take this one from a Norwegian perspective. As I only been in the US for 6 years, and I had my kids in Norway. In Norway, I got 1 year maternity leave for each of our kids, with 100% pay, which was amazing. It was like, I think 80%, and then you also have like the holidays, which is 6 weeks, and it adds up to a year. And that was amazing. I really was able to log off, making sure 100% focus on the kids, and taking that break, focusing on the kids, was really good. I think that's something that I think a lot of the moms could benefit from here, and really. Another thing is that the dads also get paternity leave, and I have to take I think now it's 3 months, but it varies all the time, but 3 months. If not, then you lose that time. So it's not like the mom can take it. So they're forcing the dads also to take a fair amount of paternity leave. And I think that balance the family, and also do something with the family, and also gender equality, which I really like. There's also other rules, like in boards. So I'm also a board of director of the IT company in Norway. And when you have a company, you have to have 40% women on the board, which means that it could be good and bad, like you chosen on the board because you're a woman, but then again, they could have chosen any other woman for the board. So that's what I'm telling myself. But that's really forcing also the equal and balance on all the boards in Norway. And now this has been a law for a long time. And now it's more natural to choose a balance, because they see the benefits of having a balanced board. So having that, starting with a policy, but ending it up as a just how it is, and not forcing it. I think that's really good. So yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing that perspective. That's awesome. So, well, listen, it was great talking to you. So thank you so much for sharing all that with us.
Of course, anytime. Thank you for having me.